2016 Ross graduation.
Go
Blue!
Blue!
Good afternoon. I'm Allison Davis Blake, Dean of the Stephen M. Ross School of Business, and it's my distinct pleasure to welcome you to this celebration of the Stephen M. Ross School of Business Class of 2016 Master of Accounting, Master of Management, and Bachelor of Business Administration commencement exercises. To begin with, we applaud. I'd now like you to stand for the national anthem. Welcome to our family members and friends of the graduates who've come from around the world to be with us here for this celebration, and to those who could not be here in person who are watching us via live stream. I extend a special welcome to University of Michigan Provost Martha Pollack and to Mark Fields, our commencement speaker. This afternoon, we're all here to celebrate as an extraordinary group of men and women become alumni of the Ross School of Business and the University of Michigan. I feel tremendous optimism about the future as I watch our vibrant, intelligent, and creative graduates move into the next phase of their life's journey. Spring commencement is one of the most memorable events the deans can experience, and I'm honored to be presiding over today's celebration. This year, we're proud to grant degrees to several different kinds of degree candidates. We have 101 Master of Accounting candidates who began their intensive program in September of 2015. They're the third Master of Accounting class to complete their program in 8 months, and our largest graduating class so far. MAcc students, are you here? We'll also be awarding degrees to 53 Master of Management candidates, the second graduating class from this special one-year intensive program. Thank you so much, MAcc graduates, for helping us shape our unique approach to the Master of Management. Master of Management graduates, are you here? And finally, maybe just a little bit louder, we have 500 Bachelor of Business Administration candidates who for the past 3 years have filled the halls of the Ross School with their tremendous energy, enthusiasm, and passion. 64 of our degree candidates today are also graduating with dual degrees from other schools and colleges at the University of Michigan, including the Penny W. Stamp School of Art and Design, the College of Engineering, the School of Information, Kinesiology, the College of Literature, Sciences, and the Arts, and the School of Music, Theater, and Dance. BBAs, are you here? Earlier this afternoon, our Associate Dean for Undergraduate Programs, Lynn Wooten, presided over the Beta Gamma Sigma Ceremony, the International Honor Society for Business Students and Scholars. Beta Gamma Sigma honors are awarded to the top 10% of our graduating BBA students. Will those Beta Gamma Sigma honorees who are with us this afternoon please stand so that we may congratulate you? Beta Gamma Sigma students. The entire faculty and staff of the Ross School join me in wishing you all the best. You leave us today to do important work as you take on the challenges of today's business world. We will miss you, but we know you are ready to fulfill the Ross School's mission and truly be leaders who make a positive difference in the world. We are confident that you will make us proud as you work to the highest standard of excellence, conduct yourselves with integrity in all of your dealings, and with compassion and concern for the welfare of others. Before we begin today and before we honor you, I invite all of you graduates to stand, turn around, and thank those who made it all possible. Graduates, please thank your friends and family. Thank you so much, family and friends. I'm a dean, but I've got to say I'm also a mom and the mother of a graduate. I'll be sitting out there in 6 short weeks. I think it's a little easier than up here. So I know from personal experience what you've contributed to the success of these graduates. We'll begin our program this afternoon with remarks from one of our graduating students who was chosen by a committee of his peers to represent all of them today. Please join me in welcoming to the podium BBA graduate Jake Aronson.
Hello, class of 2016, families, friends, faculty, and alumni. My name is Jake Aronson, and I'm so grateful and humbled to be our commencement student speaker. Hopefully this speech beats the curve today, but everyone sitting there knows I'd gladly take a B+. Ross has completely transformed my college experience for the better. And in the first few drafts of this speech, I tried to put that impact in words. When I started suffering from writer's block, I hit Facebook for some mindless scrolling. That's when I read a status by one of our esteemed classmates, Ben Rothy. Ben was trying to thank all the people he might not get a chance to see in person for their roles in his college experience. He quoted the writer Chuck Palahniuk, who said, "Nothing of me is original. I am the combined effort of everyone I've ever known." Then it clicked. The goal of this speech is not to talk about myself or to offer hollow platitudes. My goal is to tell you all how special you have made my and each other's time here, and how much brighter our futures are because of each other. We are open-minded, thoughtful, substantive, smart, diligent, wild, and awesome in the most literal sense of the word. Ross is the best business program in the world. Forget what U.S. News says. Not because of the course offerings or quality of lectures, though those are exceptional too. Ross is extraordinary because of the people in this room. When I got to Michigan, I had a hard time reconciling my view that I was the smartest kid in every room in high school with the fact that I wasn't the smartest kid in any room in college. Michigan and Ross helped me learn how much I don't know. More importantly, Michigan Ross connected me with the people who helped me realize I have the capacity to change that. Business Stats was an important course that built a foundation for the way I consider cost-benefit analyses, but I associate that course more with meeting one of my best friends here at Michigan through our homework group. He taught me how powerful it is to wake up every day and say, "It's a great day to be alive." BCom 350 was refreshing because it was the first time I learned to keep business writing simple, and Mary Hinesley is one of my favorite professors here. But again, I associate that course more with meeting another best friend at Michigan, who challenges me daily and has taught me to be confident in myself and the people around me. And she introduced me to another best friend at Michigan, who helped motivate my eagerness to learn and to explore the industry I'm now in as a postgrad. Now, the point of this speech is not to tell you all how many friends I have. And if you couldn't tell by now, it's not even to say anything profound. My goal is to hold a mirror to the class of 2016. Whenever I would make a mental list of the readings, group projects, and exams I had in the next few days and weeks, I'd start to feel overwhelmed. Like we all did at some point, I'd start to lose sleep, be irritable, run my hands through my hair, and worst of all, complain. Then I'd enjoy a chance encounter with the incomparable Justin Schmidberger. Yeah, of course, in the Winter Garden. Or with any of you rock stars. And I'd realize that it is possible to fulfill all our academic and extracurricular obligations. And go to Rick's. And tailgate before a football game. And recruit for an internship or a full-time job. Recent legend has it that in intra-squad scrimmages on the football team, Jim Harbaugh makes the winners run sprints after practice, while the losers line up and watch the winners get better as they run. That's the experience we've had at Ross. Every conversation, every class, every meeting is an opportunity to get better, especially after working ourselves to the bone beforehand. And everyone among us is a winner who should motivate you and inspire you. That's the Michigan Ross difference. To the BBAs, the Masters of Accounting, and the Masters of Management, let's attack our next chapter with enthusiasm unknown to mankind. Thanks again, and go Blue.
Now I'd like to recognize some of our award recipients, beginning with the recipients of the NERI Teaching Excellence Awards. These awards are voted upon by our students, and we're very thankful for the support of these awards provided by an endowment from Bob Neary, a BBA graduate, and his wife Janet. All of the 2016 Teaching Excellence Awards are officially presented at other commencement celebrations hosted by the individual programs, but I would like to personally acknowledge the award winners who are with us this afternoon. After I've announced the recipients, please join me in congratulating them after they stand. For the Master of Accounting Teaching Award, Jim DeSimpler. For the BBA Teaching Award, Brad Kalali. And the Master of Management Award goes to Ari Schwader. Next, I would like to acknowledge the recipients of the 2016 BBA Frank S. Moran Distinguished Leadership and Global Citizenship Awards. These student award winners were chosen by their peers and have already been officially recognized at their commencement celebration. But I would like to ask you to join me in congratulating our two award winners after they stand. Our BBA Frank S. Moran Leadership Award recipient, Jeff Yu. And our Global Citizenship Award recipient, Chris Curtis. It's now my very distinct pleasure to introduce this afternoon's commencement speaker. When I'm considering whom to invite to be our commencement speaker, I think of course, speakers who are leaders and best in the world of business. They've had successful careers, had a unique impact on those they serve, and are able to deliver a message suited to this important occasion. Mark Fields, President and CEO of Ford Motor Company, certainly embodies all of those criteria. The details of Mark's career are in your programs, so in introducing Mark, I would simply like to highlight one of the key reasons I invited him here today. Under Mark's leadership, Ford is expanding its business model to be both an auto and a mobility company, committed to growing and investing in its core business, and aggressively pursuing emerging opportunities through Ford's Smart Mobility. The company's plan to be a leader in connectivity, mobility, autonomous vehicles, the customer experience, and data and analytics. It's certainly an exciting time to be at Ford. When I invited Mark to join us today, we talked about what he had faced when he began his own illustrious career, the lessons he's learned along the way, and what he sees for you, the leaders of the future, as you sit on the threshold of this new stage in your career and life. I know you'll be inspired by what he has to share with you. So without further ado, please join me in welcoming to the podium a true leader who makes a positive difference in the world, Mark Fields.
Well, thank you, Allison, and I really appreciate your kind introduction. So, distinguished guests, Michigan Ross faculty, parents and family, and of course, graduates, I am extremely honored to be able to share this occasion with you. And I have to tell you, I was going to come to this ceremony anyway to see one graduate in particular get his diploma, because my son Zach is going to be graduating along with all of you today, and I hope he doesn't mind listening to Dad again. But I hope he won't mind if I mention how proud his mom and I are of him in a room full of parents who I know are feeling exactly the same thing, and I'm just the lucky one who gets to say it. So, class of 2016, welcome and congratulations. Because as of today, you have the U of M brand, and let me tell you, college names don't come much finer than that. And there's a reason you can literally travel anywhere and find someone wearing that maize and blue hat with that block M. I've seen it in airports, I've seen it in lobbies all over the world. And every time I give them a good go blue, they give me back a resounding go blue, even if they don't speak English. And you know, I just love saying that so much that sometimes I forget that I actually went to Rutgers. Now, I know going to school in New Brunswick, New Jersey, certainly, all right, there we go. Certainly doesn't compare with going to school in Ann Arbor, but hey, at least I didn't go to that other school. So here you are at your college graduation, and it may be hard for many of you to say goodbye to U of M, but don't worry, because the Alumni Association will make sure they never say goodbye to you. And as you walk out of here today, don't let that University of Michigan diploma lead you to believe that your education is over, because, in fact, in many ways, your education is just beginning. And, of course, being the responsible business school students that you are, I'm sure probably many of you have kind of sketched out a plan in front of you for your careers. And you might be thinking, well, I'll go do that job for a while, and then maybe I'll move over here, so ultimately I can end up somewhere else. And let me just tell you something from my own experience. It never works out that way. So don't be afraid to step away from a preset plan, because it can be a very important step towards something better. Now, I have to tell you a story. On my first day as CEO, becoming CEO of Ford, a reporter asked me, they said, "Hey, Mark, 25 years ago when you walked through the doors of Ford Motor Company, did you have your eyes on that corner office?" And I kind of chuckled to them. I said, my goal was just to have a job a year from now. And at that time, I actually did have my sights set on becoming the Ford General Marketing Manager. And I knew I had a long way to go to do that. So I thought to myself, I'll just do whatever I can to be valuable to the company, and importantly, be flexible. And by being flexible and open, I've been fortunate to live in places I never even thought I would visit, nonetheless ever live in. From Buenos Aires to Hiroshima to London and Detroit. And I've benefited from experiences that I never thought possible, experiences that helped me grow, that challenged me, that scared me, but ultimately, I became a better leader because of that. And that's not to say I've got everything figured out, by any means. Yet along the way, I've learned a lot, and I've created some basic guidelines that have served me well. And today, I'd like to share a few of those guidelines with you and a few pieces of advice. And it starts with dreaming. We've all been told to have dreams and then to go after them. But if you really want to realize your dreams, stop defining them as just fuzzy visions of the future. Instead, dream with a deadline. Think of your dreams as targets that keep you focused, that keep you determined. So here's my approach. Every role I've taken at work, I always start out by dreaming with a deadline. Now, one vivid example was when I was named CEO of Mazda in Japan, where I learned to teach an entire team of people to dream with a deadline. This once great Japanese auto company with a crystal clear brand image known for sporty, exciting cars was on the doorstep of bankruptcy. And the stakes were high. Not only was the future of 24,000 employees on the line, but also an entire community. Because Mazda was the lifeblood of Hiroshima. And if Mazda didn't survive, Hiroshima wasn't going to survive. And after spending time living with the men, the women, and children who depended on this brand and this company, my dream became very clear. Save a company and an entire population from the brink of extinction and teach them how to reignite their dream of making products that were the envy of the world. And we started by asking a basic question. What is our dream, and how quickly can we achieve it? We stopped dreaming about being like Toyota or Honda or unfocused thoughts that had caused Mazda to lose its way. And we decided to go back to our roots of what made Mazda successful in the past. We dreamt of being a small, scrappy brand of sports cars, not for everyone, that connected people to the road. And we gave ourselves a deadline, 2 years. We had 2 years to pursue our dream, or the business reality was we were not going to survive. So we developed clear goals around when we get back to break even and return to profitability, and introduced new products that embodied our dream. And we developed a communications campaign called Zoom Zoom to remind ourselves of our dream and then help the world discover it as well. And 2 years, nearly to the day of putting our dream into action, and after some very tough decisions and hard work, Mazda turned a profit for a first time in quite a while. And our products started winning awards, and people started smiling again, and an entire community was saved. Dream with a deadline. Focus on the prize. And once you have that perspective, you'll be more open and also ready to see the world and yourself the way others see you. And that's important, and that brings me to my next piece of advice. And that is to make the biggest difference, constantly seek and embrace feedback, and then take it and take time to reflect on it. You know, early in my career, in my first job actually managing people, I started getting what's known as 360-degree feedback. And that's where you get feedback from your boss, your peers, and the folks that work for you. And it's no ratings, it's just candid, anonymous comments and opinions of the things that you do well and the things that you don't do so well. And let me just say, my first report didn't make for great bedtime reading, because my perception of how I was leading clearly didn't match the reality of how my team was experiencing my leadership. And I have to tell you, it was devastating. I mean, I had to put my ego aside and humbly look in the mirror. And one poignant piece of feedback was, "Mark, you seem to have all the answers." And it forced me to really rethink about the way that I was interacting with my team. I realized I needed to be a better listener and learned that as a leader, it's more effective to lead with questions than with answers. Asking questions and really listening to the insights and points of view of others increased my own understanding, but more importantly, communicated that I valued the team and their input. Another piece of advice: live your life for yourself and not other people's expectations. You know, most people think that the fast track to success means gunning for the high-profile roles or leading the high-growth parts of the business. And of course, as business school graduates, you know, that's what you're expected to do, right? But when problems arise, most people's first thought is to stay as far away from those risky assignments and roles as possible. But if you want to learn and you want to stand out, I'd recommend to going where the need is greatest. And I call it running to the fire. Now, a majority of the jobs that I've had all have one thing in common. I got the job because nobody else wanted it. And each experience taught me new things, like the importance of bringing a team together, of acting fast and decisively, and taking calculated risks, and then adjusting on the fly as necessary. Force yourself out of the comfort zone. Seek opportunities that are going to test you. Run to the fire. And that leads me to another piece of advice, and a quality that can't be overrated: perseverance. If anything has served me well, it has been the inability to accept defeat. In late 2005, as the new leader of Ford's Americas and North America operations, it was one of, if not the most, trying times and difficult eras in the U.S. auto industry. And let me set the scene for you. We were losing money, billions of dollars. And we were in the middle of a restructuring plan that involved eliminating 40,000 jobs, half of our U.S. team. Also, at the same time, closing 17 plants and discontinuing products. And then the financial crisis came around and dealt an even more devastating blow. And I was in a meeting where we had just decided to cut the largest amount of volume production from our production plan ever. And as we reviewed the immense financial implications and impact to the business, I looked around at the team and I could see the fear on their faces and knew everyone was asking exactly the same question: are we going to make it? The room was deathly quiet. And at that moment, I was acutely aware that we could either leave the meeting with our shoulders slumped and be victims, or we could do something a lot more positive. So I went around the table and I asked them, one by one, who would you rather bet on? The Ford team or the competition? And by the time the last person answered, we had transformed from a team that felt defeated, scared, and unsure of the future to a team that was now in control of our own destiny. And that decision was no longer the beginning of the end. It was the beginning of our transformation in North America. And it's been said that success is largely a matter of hanging on when everyone else has let go. Perseverance. You know, you can live out your life or your career collecting grievances as if it's all been just a series of events that's happened to you. Or you can achieve bigger things by working through adversity and refusing to accept defeat. So in closing, I'd like to share one more piece of advice, which for me rises above all the rest. If you remember nothing else from our time together, remember this: aspire to qualities, not titles, and always be yourself. Now, each of you will walk out today with a very impressive degree and diploma, but you will only have one thing that no one else has, and that's you. Your life experiences, your personality, your values, your view of the world. That's your secret weapon. and I hope that you never trade your individuality to fit a mold. And I actually credit my dad for that piece of wisdom. Years ago, when I was starting my first big general manager's job at Ford, he wrote me a handwritten letter telling me how proud he was of me and my family, and that I had gone out and made something of myself. Yet what stands out most is the advice he gave me about being humble. And to this day, I carry his words with me, literally, wherever I go. My dad said, "Just a word of caution to you, son. Today's success can turn rapidly to something different and not so nice, even though you're doing everything right. Keep your feet firmly planted on the ground and don't get carried away by your title or what's happening. And if you do that, you will always be fine as a human being." And based on that advice, I put 4 phrases on the back of my Ford ID badge, which I wear on my belt every single day to remind me of my dad's letter. The words are, be humble, be grateful, be positive, many depend on you. It's simple, it's direct, it's powerful. Always be yourself. So graduates, as you sit here today, remember that no matter how far that you go, your colleagues will never admire you because of the power that you have. They'll admire you because you're dependable, you're fair, you're trustworthy, and your family and all those that are closest to you won't admire you for your wealth or your station in life. They'll admire you for your goodness, your kindness, your integrity, and your unconditional love. And in my best moments, I've tried to remember that this is what success is all about. And I wish it for each of you. So may your achievements at the University of Michigan be just a glimpse of finer things to come for you. Thank you very much, and health, happiness, and every success to the class of 2016.
We'll now move on to the conferring of degrees. I invite Provost Martha Pollack to join me at the podium. Provost Pollack, I have the honor on behalf of the Stephen M. Ross School of Business at the University of Michigan to present the candidates for Master of Accounting, Master of Management, and Bachelor of Business Administration to you and recommend them for the degrees named.
On behalf of the Board of Regents of the University of Michigan, I am pleased to recognize these candidates. These degrees will be conferred upon the recommendation of the faculty of the Stephen M. Ross School of Business.
So that's it. You actually have your degrees, but let's celebrate that. But I think Mom and Dad might want to see you get them individually. So we're going to do that too. You graduates will be conducted to the platform by degree groups where you will be individually recognized. I now invite our guest, Mark Fields, and Professor Kathy Shakespeare, Faculty Director of the Master of Accounting program, to join me in greeting the Master of Accounting candidates.
Masters of Accounting, Class of 2016. Eric Visser.
Daniel Barber.
Aaron Corin.
Alexander Werner.
Kelly Santicha.
Alex Ponkowski.
Dagmar Shuttle.
Alexander Reed.
Haley Wilk.
Sarah Mackey.
Miles Gardy.
Patrick Larkin.
Austin Geller.
John Shemansky. Zhang Chenyang. 姚明翠、
Chen Xing Wang,
Angela 尚安琪、 Somi Kang,
Matthew Clark,
Pooja Shah,
Marnie Little,
Michael Wilkinson,
Patrick Reedy,
Jerry Shi,
Chase Goldbaum,
Justin Glenda, Crystal Chen,
John Lee,
Joe Smajinsky,
Christos Kiriazi,
Caleb Tilton,
Adam Clover,
Eric Greenhouse,
John Brian Sarikis,
Christopher Telang Manuzak,
Matthew Houston,
Tom Schumar,
Melanie Kiono,
Danielle Mazur,
Courtney Walsh,
Li Chaoran,
Charles Foster,
Ryan O'Connor,
Zachary Spellman,
Austin Hull,
Peter Stoll,
Shami Vijayasena, Nicholas Buckley,
Ashley Lyles,
Gun Young Lee,
Melanie Battelle,
Tara Murthy,
Paul Navu,
Wang Jingxiao, Shi Chunan, Jing Lu Meng, Alexis Yan Xiaoyi, Tracy Guo Shiyu, Zhu Tong, Ho Sung Ko, Jing Yutong, Michelle Zhao Fang Shuo,
Brenna Bray Mower,
Aaron DeGrando,
Glenn Dunnier,
Tyler Jones,
Matthew J. Burns,
Yan Liang, Wang Yi, Shen Ying, Luo Xiao,
Amanda Lee,
Zoe Zhou, Zhang Sijia, Bian Xixian,
Benjamin Aronovitz,
Jared Freeland,
William Meter,
Ke Jiawu,
James Knox,
Chelsea Modest, Jonathan Hart,
Jonathan Robinson,
Jeffrey Kaplan,
Mark Correa,
Joshua Weisbrod, Jacob Rosenberg,
Ryan Sego,
James Terry,
Dylan Chang,
Maria Caruso, Nitai Mauchin,
Joshua Ho,
Leanne DeMombro,
Masters of Management, Class of 2016. Max,
So I'd now like to invite Professor Norman Bishara, Faculty Director of the Master of Management Program, to join us. Okay. Should we try that again? All right, let me try that one more time with the mic. I now invite Professor Norman Bishara, Faculty Director of the Master of Management Program, to join us in greeting the Master of Management candidates.
Maxwell Unger,
Bryce Honey,
Sam Muslin,
Mitch Ramette,
Robbie Austin,
Dominic Lentin,
Charles Aronson,
Wentao Shang,
Gautam Madra,
Yasmin Kamika, or Kazmika,
Callie Schultz.
Rohan Prasad.
Catherine Elizabeth Bernard.
Connor Baker.
Michael Steiger.
Joanne Jojen.
Heidi Tepesha.
Megan Bond.
Daniel Tadros.
Yijun Pan.
Tianning Ten.
Sarah Mulan. Mulan.
Kevin Neslin.
Ian Skitsky.
Devin Murray.
Brian Dell.
Devin Hoppy.
Brooke Handler.
Allie Corwin.
Emily Gordy.
Paige Wood.
Mackenzie Ellis.
Garrett Kessler.
Ujwal Damani.
Abhishek Lackerson.
Kung Su Zhao.
William Mullerich.
Jacob Rubin.
Aaron Barabee.
Emily Steffen.
Alexander Chislin.
John Ree.
Madeline Burrs.
Federica Jonas.
Sumi Garg.
Good.
William Cooney.
Ana Clara de Arujo.
I now invite Lynn Perry Wooten, Associate Dean for Undergraduate Programs, to join us in greeting our Bachelor of Business Administration candidates. Jake, Jeff, Chris, lead the candidates across the stage.
Jake Aronson.
Jeffrey Yu.
Chris Curtis. BBA Section 1. Ashley Schuster.
Zoe Zeiss.
William Canning. Stacy Ramley. Victoria Novakova.
Brendan Taylor.
Haley Null.
Spencer Howard.
Matt Forloin.
Matt Real.
Danny Shraggy.
Mitch Beckman.
Ankur Gupta.
Eric Jordan.
Zoe Mattingly.
Madeline Clarefield.
Natalie Coletta.
Megan Ferris.
Laura Montes.
Jessica Smith.
Renee Fedison.
Michael Turo.
Kaylin O'Donnell.
Allison Kanish.
Adrian Corona.
Jackson Matabalno.
Justin Schmidberger.
Jehu Sun.
Michael Ding.
Alice Shang.
Andrew Kim.
Timothy Wu.
Michael Starr.
Jordan Wiener.
Kenneth Wolken.
Zane Zulfikar.
Hamilton Zacharias.
Sarah Phipps.
Cameron Lindsay. David Engelbert.
Brady Ackman.
Michelle Gibbons.
Nicholas Lagerstrom.
Brian Dobmeyer.
Daniel Dobras.
Trevor Flegenheimer.
Jacob Glinke.
Shreya Patia.
Karen Chen.
Gabrielle Chang.
Kristen Wang.
Esther Kim.
Quentin Trudell.
Kevin Alport. Parth Singh. Kising Chow. Elkina Steele. Alexander Taylor. Sarvani Yalali. BBA Section 2.
Myfred Mimti.
Sumru Raju Damoni.
Maximilian Quirtermis.
Mehul Gore.
Kevin Anthony.
Jared Kaufman.
Nicholas Resnick.
Ratika Purohit.
Shivani Barpatri.
Molly Tompkins.
Jessica Mondes.
Maharan Kadir.
Zach Shaw.
Lauren Nopar.
Lisa Keene.
Dunny Shanahan.
Eric Crowley.
Stephen Berliner.
Lindsay Hausman.
Abdurman Ulam.
Maxwell Cole.
Thomas Chung.
Macario Torres.
Robert Zhang.
Danny Perrick.
Jeremy Jacobson.
Jacqueline Borgel.
Jerry Shu.
Eugene Jung.
Stephen DeWitt Jr.
Stephen Steinberger.
Kevin Ziegler.
Kane Herrick.
Jacob Dickenstein.
Stephen Wang.
AJ Rybakov.
Leonard Gottlieb.
Andrew Polkowitz.
Jordana Lutz.
Brendan Sees.
Matthew Fernandez.
Justin Rockowitz.
Stephen Levy.
Jared Molk.
Jack Peterman.
Joshua Gott Isman.
Zach Neff.
Joseph Labith.
Derek Sue.
Chad Dotson.
Bradley Goldman.
Colin McKiernan.
Tom Zidar. Monica Sheshka.
Matthew Crow.
Daniel Piatetsky.
Michelle Foreman.
Alexandra Tucker.
Melvin Pernado.
George Hermes.
Alshon Schneider.
Ashley Cooper.
Brandon Ulster.
Zachary Azas.
Nicole Schrump.
Adam Feldman.
Jake Colhan.
Sam Jacobs.
Mitchell Shapiro.
Alan Levitis.
Paige Hackenberger.
Jamie Foti.
Natalie Gadbois.
Lauren Barrett.
Sam Woodbury.
Lisa Liu.
Amy Erickson.
Melody Ing.
Jessica Wojak.
Michael Gorlick.
Michael Bednar.
Bryce Remington.
Patrick McClowski.
Stephen Katz.
Kyle Oskiski.
Raj Bugaman.
Claudia Lynn.
Jonathan Saul.
Skylar Retberg.
Adriana Zardas.
Nicholas Milado.
Alex Brown. Linda Mifsud.
Jasheen Jeng. BBA Section 3. Alyssa Kozak.
Osiris Tejeda.
Amber Michelle Blanks.
David Wu.
Jason Wang.
Stephen Riley.
Sanjay
Sarah-
Duretti.
Sarah Bookhart. Hilary Ginsburg. Matthew Sandfield. Alex Yin.
Austin Trout.
Robert Furtick.
Sam Torchio.
Daniel Chamness.
Joshua Stoffer.
Rohan Tandri.
Gabrielle Riss.
Lauren Rodemaker.
Michael Simmons.
Stephen Zhu. Alex Veeder.
Zach Gross.
Max Goldberg.
Adam Greenberg.
Matthew Kaufman.
Lily Tate Thomasis.
Michael Loki.
Erica Sleewick.
Daniel Rubin.
Elizabeth Griffith.
Kaylee Sharma.
Larissa Rosen.
Ray Snogan. Danny Shaw.
Amy Chen.
Mary Lou.
Jake Rudolph.
Matthew Karp.
Jennifer Mayer.
Lauren Steinberg.
Josh Fleischman.
Pitt Kaufman.
Jessica Angel.
Michael Kovanda.
Andrew Yeager.
Tiffany Kwan.
Trinity Lynn.
Lania Liu. Alex Bez.
Alexander Evangelista.
Alexander Marib.
Connor Zamaria.
Natalie Yeesh.
Laura Williams.
Tanner Water Street. Eric Kirshner.
Jeff Welcher.
Omar Abani.
Daniel Huang.
Amy Dury.
Samuel Silverman.
Sabrini Shata.
Brian Burton.
Trevor Alexander Smith. Rosika Karnick.
Samaje Ray. BBA Section 4.
Gaureen Learn.
Victoria Liu.
Catherine Yang.
Miki Wadabe.
Jenny Wang.
Wendy Koo.
Ann Yu.
Jenny Lee.
Harry Haddon.
Saini Rich.
Robert Perry.
Raul Kumar.
Zach Locke.
Angela Huang.
Stephanie Wright.
Anna May Lee Pan.
Su Yoon Lee.
Maxwell Schwein.
Michael Wong.
Connor Molshine.
Aaron Liu.
Jay Lin.
Sarah Beatty.
Abigail Rogers.
Smita Garg.
Renzi Wu.
Brittany Brown.
David Deset.
Ian Savis.
Megan Landek.
Brian Lapidus.
Jacob Gordon.
Max Himmelho.
Logan Pitts.
Gavin Buck.
Brad Fingerroot.
Rose Phillip.
Meredith Burry.
Stephen Soward.
Elizabeth Krishka.
Jared Bassett.
Alexander Kamenetsky.
Forrest Burzak.
Nathan Sung.
Audrey Bauer.
Nathaniel Boltman.
Abhinav Sutyavarapu.
John Hubbard.
Macy Hudson.
Nicholas Killeen.
Alex Cook.
Jack Stein.
Nathan Krasnick.
Michael Zoe.
Alexander Goodwin.
Jacob Marples.
Dean Debrin.
Jessica Vander.
Marielle Reese.
Jamie Korn.
Sophia Dardashti.
Katie Reiner.
Mark Godless.
Alex Akhtarzad.
Payman Rafizadeh.
Andrew Dalal.
Tyler Neiman.
Howard Sobel.
Amani Young.
Nicholas Foley.
Andrew Padula.
William Tumpain III.
Maxwell Odina.
John Dennison.
Shang Chen.
Summer Hu.
Brian Hu.
Lars Lopatka.
Austin Green.
Brian Hines.
Connor Herman.
Zachary Mazarin.
Stephanie Betancourt. Zachary Fields.
Max Olive. BBA Section 5. Michael Delesso.
Emily Goodman.
Matthew Shibish.
Daniel Cower.
Ryan Golden.
Sid El-Sagir.
Guri Patel.
Akshay Jetli.
William Shao.
David Lee.
Stephen Toner.
Kayla Utama.
Benjamin Shahida.
Matt Lunda.
Vivian Hugh.
Matthew Genuine.
Mason Wagner.
Courtney Colin.
Jenwen Shu.
Josh Katzman.
Michael Rostowski.
Daniel Steinmetz.
Abigail Kuhn.
Jacob Van Huff.
Larissa Svinsitsky.
Emma Hall.
Rachel Bornstein.
Madeline Baxter.
Allison Von Gritsch.
Lauren Mertens.
Emily Stern.
Anthony Cluo.
Brett Mizzy.
Clay Bierman.
Kane Boynton.
Alex Gorski.
Daniel Segal.
Ethan Miner.
Gibran Umid.
Sravia Musu.
Eric Libby.
Jacob Earhart.
Bobby Schwartz.
Max Cohen.
Mitchell Aftalion.
Henry Schultz.
Madeline Walsh.
Morgan Slaff.
Elizabeth Rice.
Laura Davis.
Ariel Berger.
Alex O'Brien.
Spencer Chernus.
Connor Asher.
Marcus Alland.
Michael Mihari.
Stuti Jain.
Shraddha Gusalia.
Tira Band.
Jillian Hamersma.
Matthew O'Brien.
Darius Crum. David Obia.
Saeed Furdso.
Jonathan Kudikat.
Spencer Peterson.
McKenna Bailey.
Cassandra Webb. BBA Section 6, Class of 2016, let's go! Avery Klein.
Ian Foreman.
Nicole Fleischman.
Shannon Peterson.
Olivia Reed.
David Jacob Carlson.
Sir Connor Ryan Pams.
Jeremy Lee.
Mark Krishea.
Alex Beam.
Elizabeth Michaels.
Meredith Bell.
Jordan Liss.
Brandon Heller.
Matthew Recker.
Jordan Mackler.
Stephen Zhang.
Eric Wong.
Jennifer Liu.
Jack Roberts.
Emily Cheng.
Milani Desai.
Alex Adler.
Elena Contis.
Sarah Waxman.
Lauren Latucci.
Samantha Franz.
Kevin Moses.
Mark Terwilliger.
Christopher Haber.
Connor Mundy.
Danielle Wharton.
Lillian Bridget Moriarty.
Abigail Surikis.
Aaron Cronin.
Lauren Matthews.
Jared McNair.
Uzair Khan.
Laith Hassan.
Derek Engebretson.
Hannah Bogro.
Paula Camarena.
Casey Cheyette.
Michael Stanley.
Jason Steinman.
Adam Zane.
Mohammed Amwais.
David Glazer.
Billy Learn.
Elaine Wang.
Nancy Sun.
Alexander Reines.
Jaleel Lockhart.
Daniel Sonnabend.
Ben Halpin.
Harrison Amin.
Samuel Klein.
David Kang. Shaylin Shah.
Alice Boyd.
G.S. Surrey.
Corey Vaca.
Let's give all our graduates a hand. Thanks to all of you for being here today. Congratulations to all of our award recipients. Congratulations to all of our graduates. And graduates, we're so proud to welcome you as alumni of the Ross School of Business. I would now like to invite everyone to stand. And one last time, Jake, Jeff, Chris, will you join us in leading Hail to the Victors?